and so it was hard to tell if I was live, but I think I am. Yay! Anyway, so what we're going to talk about is how to get good sleep. Studies show that people who have lost a spouse are more likely to have sleep disturbances that exacerbate insomnia, which is a catapult to a plethora of contrary side effects. And we all know widowhood is not selective. There's more and more young widowed women than ever. Hi, Melody. That are joining this club that none of us want to be part of. None of us want to be part of this widows group. And yet here we are. And so, like, I was 47 years old when my husband passed away. I consider that very young to be a widowed woman. However, there are so many other younger women. When my brother was tragically killed and died, my sister-in-law was, I think, probably in her late 20s. Actually, I know she was. Maybe not even late 20s, mid 20s, with 3 little kids. So what my point is, I do find an average is between 40 and 65, 75 years old. And so not only are we having insomnia, we are also having a lot of hormone shifts. And that is a really big recipe for super crappy sleep. And so the backlash of crappy sleep is unbelievable. So when you don't have a good night's sleep, you're easily frustrated. Am I right? We can get angry easier. We rage even. I know for me, when I when I was new in widowhood, or maybe 6 or 8 months out, I was washing a dish and it had a chip on it, and it just literally sent me over the edge. It was the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back. I threw that ceramic dish into what we call the Phoenix room. It's like a closed-in patio. I was just so frustrated. I was raging and I just couldn't manage my emotions because I was so sleep deprived. And so we rage. We feel very apathetic. We don't get excited about things. We feel negative. We have limiting beliefs, which we talked about on Monday, and what those kind of self-doubt feelings can do. And it causes us to be so, what's the opposite of confident? Just full of fear and anxiety, just so much less confidence. We tend to eat junk food as an attempt to get an energy surge. If you ever eat, you're just like, oh, I'm really not hungry, but I need some food because I need energy, and it's just not working. Poor sleep also compromises our immune system. And right now, with everything going on in the world, the last thing we need is a compromised immune system. So we need to make sure we're getting good sleep, that we're getting lots of rest, good, solid, blissful sleep. Another side effect is crying jags. We'll just kind of like that bowl thing. I didn't cry. I was just straight up pissed. But when I threw the bowl, but crying jags are part of being absolutely exhausted and not getting good sleep. So lastly, one of the other side effects, which might be surprising, is weight gain. And a lot of that is because our system isn't functioning the way that we need it to. Again, we're going to, if you get that slump in the afternoon, you find yourself wanting some candy or some cookies or something to try to give you that energy, and it just doesn't work, but we're still putting on weight. So the question is this: is it possible to start enjoying restful sleep, blissful filled sleep? And so not everybody needs a solid 8 hours of sleep. Some run just fine on 6 or 7 hours. And I've always been an 8-hour girl, even as a teenager. If I was hanging out with my friends and there wasn't really anything going on, we're just hanging out, I'd go home and go to bed. I love my 8 hours of sleep. And, again, not everybody needs that much sleep. You know your own number and the amount of hours that energize you, or at least has the potential to energize you. Whatever your magical sleep hours need to be, let's try everything we can to get you there. And I'm going to talk about some really good tips on that you can implement without going out and buying a brand new bed, or although I do really recommend having a comfortable bed that feels good to your body and has you waking up feeling rested. But these are simple things that you can do that are not going to break the bank, in other words, or demand huge changes. So this list is to incorporate into your nightly routine. And my question is, oh, wait, do you even have a nightly routine? Unless, I mean, your routine is binging on Netflix, and when you're done with Netflix, transitioning into Facebook or Instagram for an hour before you doze off, if you're lucky. Doing those things before calling it quits for the day is really, really not serving your mind, your body, or your well-being. If that's you, if you're a Netflix binger and then you transition over to social media, drop the words in there, "That's me," in the comments. I'm just curious if that's something that resonates with you. So here's a long list of things that you can do that are, again, super simple. Add as many of these things to your daily routine as you possibly can. So we're talking about daytime now. Try to not consume caffeine after 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because it stays with you, and it is just not going to help you go to sleep easily. Exercise regularly. So improvements can be seen in as little as just 10 minutes of aerobic activity, but you tend to see higher results after at least 20 minutes of exercise. Excuse me, my nose tickles. And exercise in at least 20 minutes each day. So that's a 20-minute walk. I always say this: walk away from your house for 10 minutes, walk back to your house. That's the extra 10 minutes. You got 20 minutes in. And make sure you're kind of, hooking it up a little. Make sure you're using your energy to get more energy, if that makes sense. It works. Oh my goodness, excuse me. The next one is get a good dose of nature. And so you're killing two birds with one stone, basically, if you get outside and get a walk. If you get some good sunshine and fresh air, you're going to get an instant boost of dopamine, which in turn improves your mood, plain and simple. And of course, if you live in a sunshine state like I do, be sure to keep your sun exposure to less than about 20 minutes, and then add some sunblock if you're going to be out longer than that. But let those rays get into your body for just a short amount of time, though, because you don't want to get skin damage and even worse. If you live in a place where sunshine is at a minimum, consider a light therapy. I don't know what they're called. I've always lived in a super sunny place in the world, and but I know they have those light bulbs that can be light therapy, and that can give you that boost of dopamine, which can help you sleep later in the evening. Okay, so back to the nightly routine. I want you to get good at creating a routine first and foremost. Starting a sleep ritual will help to signal your mind, your body, your brain that it's getting close to time to go into sleep. It's getting close to bedtime. So super, super, super important. Your bed is for two things. Two things only. Your bed is for sleep, and your bed is for sex. And since we're widowed women, maybe a lot of us aren't getting a lot of sex, but those are the two things. Two things. That's it. So make sure you're not, try not to spend a ton of time on your phone in bed, because that's not what bed is for. Bed is for sleeping. Get good sleep. So what I'd like you to do is go to the dollar store or to Walmart or something and pick up a bag of Epsom salts if you don't have them. And I want you to take a nice relaxing Epsom salts bath at least a couple times a week, 2, 3, 4 nights a week if you can. Add a few drops of lavender essential oils. That really gets your body starting to settle down. Do this in the evening, before bed, or as you're beginning to unwind and relax. The next thing is create a bedroom oasis. So make your bedroom a place of peace and tranquility. And to me, what that means, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be, again, a whole remodel in your bedroom. But make sure your bedroom is organized and pleasant. You can, go through things and get rid of things, and maybe go buy a couple of things that really make your bedroom your oasis. It doesn't have to be a huge project. And if you want to do that and you've been wanting to do it anyway, then heck yeah, remodel it, paint it, do whatever you need to do. Go buy a new bedroom bedding set. But just make sure that your bed is comfortable and your bedroom is organized and peaceful and tranquil so that you can relax in there. The next thing is, I want you to make sure that there's no light shining into your bedroom. So if there's street lights outside, or when the cars drive by, the lights shine in your bedroom or whatever it is, make sure that you have darkening curtains or blinds on your windows so that you get good sleep, and don't leave a bunch of lights on throughout the rest of the house, because subconsciously you're going to pick up on that light and your mind is going to be curious as to why the light's on at night. So just make sure you darken your room as much as you can. Okay, next thing, I want you to do a short meditation every single night. I'm talking between 5 and 10 minutes. Facebook and Instagram will do without us for 5 or 10 minutes. Find a meditation on YouTube or some other platform that really resonates with you and helps you to start calming your mind and getting ready to, to really disengage. So do this sitting up so that you are fully aware. I was doing a sleep meditation, and if it's more, so I have one that's like 8 hours and I play it super low sometimes, but lately it's been keeping me awake, and so I don't do that. But I do that when in bed, obviously. But if it's a 5 or 10 minute meditation to start, letting go at night, then do it sitting up so that you're fully engaged in it. And it lets your mind, again, know that it's time to start winding down. The next thing is start an essential oil regimen. And I know Melody will appreciate this because she uses oils. I know that because she sent me some for a housewarming present. Thank you again, Melody. But start using an oil regimen at night. So you can have a mixture of lavender and vetiver and put a little bit of fractionated it's called a carrier oil, but fractionated coconut oil or MCT oil, that's what I use. And I just have a blend, and I put the roller ball together, and I put it on my wrist. I put it on my arm. Can you see? This is backwards. I put it right there on my arm, and I put it behind my neck and up and down my spine. It really, really makes a difference. Another really good one is eucalyptus, and I always love cedarwood. So those are some to consider getting to add into a bottle and use every night. Your body's going to start recognizing this ritual as a ritual, and it's going to help you to start relaxing. So I want you to exercise, but I want you to make sure all your exercise is done 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. We don't want you to get wound up and kind of raring to go when it's time to start winding down. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. Make sure to avoid caffeine and too much alcohol. And I know that sometimes alcohol can relax you, but I have to tell you, your body has to work really, really, really hard to process alcohol, which can keep you awake. So if you are having more than a glass of wine or one cocktail, chances are that that's going to start keeping that's part of the problem, keeping you awake. The next thing is, don't stuff yourself with a huge meal right before bedtime. If you go out to dinner and it's kind of late and you're just going to go home and go to bed, have a light meal. Nobody says you have to order the biggest, heaviest meal on the menu. Or if you're eating late, because you got home from work late and you're at home but you haven't had dinner, excuse me, don't stuff yourself. Just eat a light meal. Our bodies don't need all those calories right before sleep. Because again, your body has to work to process that food. If it's processing food and alcohol, then you're really, really making your body work hard so it's not ready to wind down and go to sleep. The last thing on this list is consider a warm glass of either organic whole milk or almond milk in the evening. You can just warm it up and put a drop of stevia or monk fruit in there and a couple drops of vanilla. And you can even, for me, I blend everything. I blend my coffee, I blend my golden milk, which is turmeric and cinnamon and coconut oil and blah, blah, blah. If you want to know more about that, let me know. I can share that recipe. But consider having that. And again, always going back to your body, your mind is going to start recognizing that you're winding down. This is something that is your routine. So if you want to have better sleep, are you open to incorporating these ideas into your daily and nightly routine? If you are, I think you'll be pleasantly pleased to see the difference that just those simple things will do. And, restful sleep, if you're in recovery and trying to get your life kind of back together after your husband passed away, these things are really going to help you. So let me know again in the comments, what are your habits? Are you one of those Netflix bingers? And I'm going to admit, I do. Mike's down in the Phoenix area during the week working, and so it's just Charlie Ann and I. And after she goes to bed, I'll watch The Good Witch. I love Jane the Virgin. I have my shows. I love Heartland. I've watched it twice completely. I love it. So I can watch 3 or 4 episodes, and that's okay. But then I turn it off and I start doing my night routine so that I can really have that good sleep and really be on point the next day, not be so sensitive and not be so exhausted. So I would love to know your thoughts. Please give me comments in the underneath this video. And if there's something else that you guys are interested in learning, I'd love to know what that is too. So go ahead and drop that in the comments as well. I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you for all the well wishes yesterday. Charlie Ann and I celebrated my son Travis's birthday. As many of you know, he passed away in 2014, and yesterday we had a good day. We went out to lunch, we went shopping, we made healthy keto fudge, and believe it or not, it's incredible. It's peanut butter fudge with walnuts. And so we just had kind of a fun festive day and celebrated my son's life. So I love you guys. I hope these things are helping. I'd love to hear more from you on what you think you need, and if I can help you, I absolutely will. And if I can't, we'll figure out a way to find it. Bye, ladies.